I understand why people feel how they feel about the 49ers. They're the one team where you know the identity of what they want to be and will be throughout football games. And they play that way. They play a physical brand of football. It's a very confusing run game to stop. You have your issues when you play against the 49ers. But the 49ers have their issues too. And this energy of the 49ers or the draw that should make the Cowboys afraid, I'm just not on board with that. It's a lot of things you got to think about playing against the Cowboys as well. And I get it. I understand what it has looked like from an offensive standpoint at times during the season. But we've also seen the Cowboys be one of the more explosive offenses. We don't know what the outcome or what the terms will be in which this game will be played. It's the playoffs. It's for everything. I'm sure every team, every game will be laying it all out there. But what I want to see in this game in particular is, because it seems to me everybody thinks or believes that this team is dangerous, and I always equate that to your quarterback being able to be a consistent playmaker in the playoffs. Go back 20 years, go back before we was covering it. That's really what it usually boils down to. At some point, your quarterback is going to have to come up with big plays. I'm betting on Dak Prescott. Okay, before I bet on Jimmy Garoppolo. I understand what I understand what the dilemma is with Deebo Samuel. I know that he is the catalyst for what they want to do offensively on this football team. So I'm looking forward to it. I just don't like all of this energy. Like the Cowboys should just forfeit the damn game because the 49ers are a tough draw in the playoffs. Miss me with that.
Listen, I love this energy, and I'm so happy that we're revisiting this conversation, Harry, because I know you had a very hot take in the first hour when we first brought up this debate. So I ask you, do you think the Super Bowl or bust mentality is one that the Cowboys should be having right now?
Charlie, it don't matter. They losing in the first round.
There you go.
I just told y'all that. It don't matter. They losing in the first round.
Your issue was with Harry. It's not with me. It's really not with me.
I've been high on the 49ers the last 4 or 5 weeks. I went on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, and people crucified me because I said the 49ers were the best team in the NFC West. They thought I was crazy, but I'll be damned. They didn't blew the Rams out twice. I mean, they ain't blow them out the second time, but they physically imposed their will the first time around. They were down 17, came back and won that game. I think the 49ers, I'm just saying, they impose so many things. The Cowboys defense, those guys that they got over there are aggressive. Kyle Shanahan is about to have all kind of misdirection going on. He about to boot and waggle. And if they decide they want to play man coverage in the back end, you have star players. When I mean star players, guys who can do a multiplicity of different things offensively for the 49ers. You got Juszczyk. You got George Kittle. You have Deebo Samuel. You have the other little wide receiver. I can't even think of his name right now. Y'all got me so upset over here. You got Brandon Ayuk. Yep. But then here's another one, right? We don't know what packages Kyle Shanahan throwing in for Trey Lance right now for this playoff game. He may have been saving it just for this game right here. So when I look at Dan Quinn defensively, Dan Quinn got some stuff on his shoulders to try to put up with a game plan with the San Francisco 49ers offensively.
Like everybody else in the NFL.
Yeah, Marcus, my only point earlier was not that the Cowboys have no chance in this game. I think people would feel a lot better, more confident about the Cowboys if we would see them play consistently throughout the year. Every week that we would see the offense come out sluggish, every time we would see the Cowboys play well against an NFC East opponent, scoring 40 points a game, and then they play somebody else in another division.
No, what is that?
You know, they're 6-5 against other teams outside the NFC East. You know, that's not about emotion or feeling. Those are just facts.
It's concerning.
They score almost half as many points against other teams versus the Giants, Washington, and the Eagles. So it's not about emotion. It's just any team facing the 49ers right now, that would be a tough draw.
I get it.
But if we see
Kmart, just say it to him like this. Kmart, just say it to him like this, Kmart. They have one win versus teams who have 10 wins or more. They only got one. Just say it like that.
But it's not. See, I'm not like picking the 49ers. I'm not out there with you, Harry.
I'm getting them riled up today.
I'm just trying to get my brother. I'm trying to get Marcus to understand.
A team who has 10 wins or more.
But y'all gotta stop. Like y'all have to stop this, man. We all understand. We all are in agreement about the 49ers. Guys, listen. The 49ers lost 7 games. Dallas lost 5. Okay? That's fact. That's what we're looking at.
San Francisco also plays in a tougher division than the Cowboys.
Kim,
that's fact, right?
Kim,
okay, right?
Kim,
like
let me ask you a question. Didn't all of us say that the Colts would walk into Jacksonville and dominate and win? Did not every person on this network, probably in the world?
Let's not go there, okay?
So, hold on, Charlie, I'm sorry. I know this is very personal to you. I'm sorry.
It is,
it is.
But
You had to throw it in
Charlie.
there.
So here's my point, y'all. Here's my point, okay? Because y'all know how much I care about the Cowboys. But my point, for real, on a serious note, my point is this. Matchups matter in the NFL, and when we get to the playoffs, it's very important to try to find those matchups. Nobody matches up well with the 49ers when they're doing what they do at their best. My point is, nobody matches up with Dallas either. Can we all agree that when Dallas plays at their ceiling offensively, who are you taking in this game?
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
We are with
When
no
they
one
hit
is
on all
disagreeing
cylinders,
with that.
They are
But
forced to
no
be
one
reckoned with.
knows
The thing
what
is that
Dallas
we don't
team
know
we're
if they're going to be
seeing.
hitting on
That's
all
all.
cylinders.
Y'all got to stop acting like the energy ain't been all about what the 49ers do well. Come on now, Kim, you're rolling your eyes. Is it true or not?
It's not. I can't speak to what other people are saying.
Since this matchup has been made, has the energy been geared towards Dallas should be worried, the 49ers, has it not?
It's simplest fact is this is a tough draw for the Cowboys. That's a fact. That's a fact.
I know, and it's also, but the fact is also it's a tough draw for the 49ers.
Yes.
That's my point.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.